we have 7 pressure belts on the earth. Equatorial low pressure belt, subtropical high pressure belt, subtropical high pressure belt, subpolar low pressure belt, subpolar low pressure belt, polar high pressure belt, and polar high pressure belt. So we have alternating belts of low pressure, high pressure, low pressure, high pressure, low pressure, high pressure, low pressure, high pressure. So altogether we have 7 pressure belts on the earth. Okay, so the first pressure belts on the earth is your equatorial low pressure belt. So equatorial low pressure belt extends from 0 degree to 5 degree north and 0 degree to 5 degree south. So this belt is known as your equatorial low pressure belt. Now why the pressure is low here is because equator is a place which almost gets the direct rays of the sun, which always gets the direct rays of the sun. Because of the heat of the sun, the air surrounding the equator gets heated. As it gets heated, it expands. As it expands and rises up as a convection current. Convection means the vertical movement of the air. Vertical movement of the air is known as convection current. So, as the air from here moves upward as a convection current, this area has got a low pressure. So this is one of the factors why the equator has a low pressure is because of the direct rays of the sun. Second is, as the region has more water than land masses. You can see from here, this is the equator. This is only a land, this is only a land, this is only a land, but major portion of your equator is occupied by the water masses. So, as the region has more water than land masses, so air picks up large amount of water vapor. As the air picks up large amount of water vapor, it becomes lighter. As it becomes lighter, then it moves upward, creating an area of low pressure. Third one is, as the rotation of the earth, rotation meaning the movement of the earth from west to east on its axis is maximum where at the equator. As it is maximum here, so the air pressure gets deflected to the north and south of the equator. That means it moves towards the north and south of the equator, creating an area of low pressure. So these are the 3 reasons why the equator has got a low pressure, and it is called the equatorial low pressure. Now, this region by the sailors has called as a region of doldrum. It is known as DOLDRUM. Doldrum means a region of calm. Now, there in the olden times, the sailors found the area very calm because of the absence of the wind. There is no horizontal movement of the air. There is only vertical movement of the air. There is no horizontal, there is only vertical movement of the air. That's what I told you, convection current. There is only vertical movement. In the absence of the wind, the region remains calm, and the sailors found very difficult in backing the ship. So they call this equatorial low pressure belt as a doldrum. That is why it is called a doldrum. Now, the second pressure belt which we are going to do is the subtropical high pressure belt. It lies between 25 degree to 35 degree north to 25 degree 35 degree south latitudes. The warm moisture from the equator, the air was warm, it was full of water. The warm moisture from the equator rises. As it rises up, when you compare the temperature of this area to this area, the temperature of this area is cold. So as the air rises from here and it cools, it becomes heavy. As it moves over here, the air cools down. And as the air cools down, it becomes heavy. As it becomes heavy, it settles down, creating an area of high pressure. The rising air even reaches up to the polar region here and here. After they reach over here, they become heavier, they become denser, and they come and settle down here in the subtropical high pressure belt. That is another factor why the pressure is high in the subtropical region. Okay. Okay. Now, what happens is that warm, okay, as the air descends, as the air from here descends, as the air from here descends, as this descent, what will happen is as the air descends over here, what will happen is that as the air descends over here, it becomes warm. When you compare the temperature of this area to this area, the temperature over here is warm. It becomes warm. As it becomes warm, its capacity to hold water vapor increases. That means it can hold more amount of water vapor. That means it was over here, the air was going to get saturated, but as soon as it comes over here, the air becomes unsaturated. So as the air becomes unsaturated, there is no condensation and there is no rainfall. And this is the reason why major deserts, maximum number of deserts like the Sahara Desert of Africa, Atacama Desert, the Kalahari Desert, most of the deserts that we have over here, the California Desert, and we also have the Thar Desert. These deserts are found in the tropical belt. That is all about your subtropical high pressure belt. Okay. So this belt is also called, this subtropical high pressure belt is also called the belt of calm. There is a belief that in the olden times that the sailors, there is also no horizontal movement of the air here, there is only vertical movement of the air, and in the absence of the wind over here, the region remains calm. And in the olden times, the sailors found very, very difficult to sail the ship because their ship was loaded with the horses, and because of the load of the horse, it was very difficult for them to move their ship, and because of that, they threw all the horses in the sea, and that is why this latitude is also known as horse latitude. This latitude is also known as horse latitude. This region, horse latitude, H-O-R-S-E, horse latitude. Okay. Third one is the subpolar low pressure belt. Subpolar low pressure belt. It is found between 60 degree to 70 degree north, 60 degree to 70 degree south latitudes. Now, why the pressure is low over here is because of the rotational movement of the air. Because of the rotation of the movement of the air from here gets flung to the polar high pressure region in both the latitudes and creating an area of low pressure. All right. The second reason is the subpolar low pressure belt is comparatively warmer as compared to the polar high pressure belt. So as the air is warm, the air expands, it rises up, creating an area of low pressure. Now, the last one is a polar high pressure belt. It is found in the North Pole and the South Pole. The region, this area always gets the slanting rays of the sun. So, it is very cold, and as the air is very cold over here, it becomes denser. As it becomes denser, it sinks, creating an area of low pressure. Second, the amount of water vapor that is present here is also very low because of lack of heat. Because of lack of heat. So the dry air is warmer, creating an area of high pressure. The rising air from the subpolar region, after reaching over here, cools down and settles down over here, creating an area of high pressure. So this is all about the 7 pressure belts of the world. Thank you.